Good evening, everybody. I'm Dave Martinson, and this is our community appreciation call. A couple of things we're recording this. I put everybody on mute, so if you're going to have any questions or anything, then you have to unmute yourself. So a little bit about myself. I've been coaching with Cheri and I have been coaching for about 4 years now, and originally I went on the program and lost 70 pounds. And after that, I was like, hey, there's something about this. My life was changed. And so we started coaching. I wanted to share this with folks. So today we got a couple of speakers. They come to share their stories. I'm real excited to hear about it and very interested in hear about what they have to say. This is about a half-hour Zoom, so we will get one right away. So our first speaker tonight is Lalo, and I'm excited to introduce him to share his story. Lalo.
Hello. Hi, everybody. Okay. Well, first of all, I just wanted to say it's awesome being here. Want to thank everybody for actually welcoming me to come on board and speak. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. And well, my life has been pretty tough. I've always been big, never this big. Since I was a kid, always eating wrong. Did a lot of things, just typical Hispanic family, right? Just, tamales, pozole, rice, beans all the time. So anyways, a couple of years ago, actually I did the program about 2 years ago. Financial problems, I didn't stick to it. I fell off of it. And actually in the past 2-3 years, I've gained a lot more weight. This is the biggest I've ever been. Actually, I broke my leg about a year ago. I have lymphedema on my left leg. That was the leg that I broke. Couldn't put a cast on it. So what happened was I had to lay in bed for about 4.
I think he's frozen. Lalo, can you hear us? Because you're frozen. We can't hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I had a call coming in. And like I said, I was bedridden. I got over that, and I started moving around. It came to the point where I needed some help. I needed my mom was helping, my wife was helping me do certain things, and basically it came to the point where I had to make a choice, like, keep on going the way I am and see how far I can live, or do something about it, and enjoy life. I mean, I have 3 kids. My oldest daughter is 18 already, and she talked to me, and she basically made me open my eyes and said, Dad, like, what do you expect to be in 10 years, 20 years? I'm 40 years old, 41. What are you going to do when you're 60? How are we going to help you if you keep on getting bigger? We can't carry you around. And, it kind of hurt, but, she's right. So what I did, I reached out to Garrett. I've known Garrett, we've been on Facebook friends for about 2-3 years. And I know this plan works, and I just had to do what I had to do. I talked to him back in, I think it was about April, May. I was struggling with finances, and then until July, I just said, you know what, we got to do something. So I went ahead and just had to do what I had to do, and I started the plan July 31st. And up to now, I've lost 53 pounds. And it's not easy, but I'm going strong. Got to keep on going. And I feel so much better. Like the energy levels. I mean, I used to be able to walk from my house to my apartment to the street, and I would have to, like, take a breather. Like it was really, really bad. But now I go up and down the stairs, get in to be able to walk a lot better than I used to. So,
That's fantastic.
a couple weeks ago, I did have a little scare. I don't know what it was. I was, I don't know if I was a panic attack, anxiety attack, something. I felt like I was gonna about to pass out, die. Some kind of attack was happening. So I had to call the paramedics. I got rushed out to the hospital. They hooked me up to all kinds of machines and checked out my heart. I got like all kinds of tests on it through blood, and everything came out great. The doctor said, "We don't understand how somebody your size is that healthy. Like you have no high blood pressure, no high cholesterol. You don't have diabetes, nothing. Like he's healthier than me." So it was awesome to hear that from him, and just got to keep on going. And I'm just excited. It's 53 pounds is a lot of weight. I mean, it's a lot of
Yeah,
weight to be carrying around, and I think that's why I feel a lot better. And like I said, I mean, I'm here to stay and keep on going forward.
that's
So
fantastic. That's great, Lalo. Thanks for sharing that. That's amazing. That's an amazing story. I have a question for you. So, what do you think is a major factor between the first time you went on a program and this time? Like, what is that thing that is just so different for you?
the mentality wise, I mean, the difference is from when I started to now. I mean, it opens your eyes. It's a good awakening. I mean, a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, I was really exhausted, tired, not getting sleep, and now everything's back to normal. I mean, not back to normal, but I sleep through the night now, and I'm a lot more active. You know what? Before, people would invite me to gatherings. I would always make an excuse. Oh, I got something else already planned. Sorry, I couldn't make it. And now I'm looking for things to do. Go out, enjoy. Have fun. Take the family out. I mean, mentality has changed 100% like before,
Yeah,
and it's great. It's really great.
that's fantastic. That's fantastic. I have one other question for you. What kind of impact has this made on your family when you look at right where you are now from where you were before, like when you're looking at your family or the way they're supporting you?
You know what? My family's been very supportive, and my mom, she calls me every week. Okay, would you weigh in? She's like, you got to keep on going. I had little flaws here and there, but she's like, no, stick to it. You're better than that. I mean, my kids even like they're so happy. My daughter is like, okay, let's go out to the park. Just the impact on my daughter alone, going out, taking her out to a park. I mean, it's excitement. My wife, she's happy too because she gets to go out now and do fun things with the family and stuff like that. So it's an impact on the family
Yeah,
big time. It
absolutely.
changes their life around.
Yeah, congratulations on that. Is anybody having questions for Lalo? If you don't have any, I'm going to pick on you. Come on.
Hey, Lalo. Congratulations on the 53 pounds. So, I have a question for you because we are going to be heading into the holiday seasons. And you did start this in July, so you've already had a couple holidays that you've gone through. What advice would you give to people on this call and that will watch this playback on the difference in how you navigate holidays now than you had previously?
That's a tough one. It's a tough one, but you know what? Your mindset has to be set, and you have to like look at your journey and look at where you want to be. Like, is really that pumpkin pie going to be worth it, or you know what, I'll just have some turkey and some veggies and stuff like that. So, what kind of advice do I have? I'm like, stick to your guns, you know? I mean, your mind is very powerful, but if you think the right way, you'll make the right choices, right? That's the way I see it.
So I think it's remarkable of your daughter to come up to you and initiate this change and kind of see the future for you. So will you be like putting something like, I mean, I think what you're saying and what I've known from health coaching in my own journey is really keeping your why in front of you. Not like a no finger, but like why you're actually doing the program, and realize that this is, you know, success is not a straight line, and it's going to be squiggly all over, just like, you know, you've been talking with your mom and everything about things. But, you know, keep your why in front of you. Garrett is amazing at helping you keep your why in front of you. So he's my coach too. So I encourage you to stay super, super connected and call him for anything on that if you're struggling, because, you know, it's the holidays. You have to go in, like you said, with the right mindset. So congratulations on all your success and for being proactive on your own health.
Thank you.
I have a quick question for you too. What's your goal?
You know what? I've usually, actually, I'll tell you, I've been about, my regular weight is about 350 pounds since out of high school. I got up to 560, and that's when I made this turn. I want to be down to at least 250. That's my goal, 250 pounds. And then once we're there, then we'll see. But I'm sure we'll keep on going. But that's my target. That's my target.
Good. Good. Well, half the battle of getting there is having a specific answer to that question. So good for you, because that's exactly how you get there. So good job.
Right. Thank you.
I don't have a question, but I have, you know, I want to say congratulations to Lalo, because, you know, we talk about staying connected, and he definitely 100% stays connected with not only just me, but my coach also, who we all work together, as we know, you know, with clients. So myself and Bernardo have been working very closely with Lalo, and it's just awesome. You know, there was like a little couple-day period where, you know, we didn't have any feelings, or we didn't have enough feelings for the 5-1 that we were doing. So we're really connected then, and we had a whole plan going into place. So he's really, really focused. And, you know, I think I told you this, Lalo, but what better way to get through the holidays with a coach that did the program through the holidays, right? So don't worry about that. That ain't nothing, big dog. We're going to kill the holidays. The holidays ain't got nothing on us.
There you go.
Keep it up, man. You know, and I'm excited to be on this call in a couple months and hear you again, and then a year from now and hear the difference. It's going to be amazing. I'm telling you. It's awesome. Great job, man.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions for Lalo?
Lalo.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man. Felicidades, bro. You've done an amazing job, and you got a great coach, right? It's a good friend of mine, too. What would your advice be for someone? I actually have someone that I spoke about the program. He's about 525. He's on the fence. He's not sure if it's going to work for him. What would your advice be for someone that, you know, obviously is, I'm not sure exactly where you started, but, you know, started right around the same weight class. He's having concerns if it's going to work. He's also having concerns on the financial side. What would your advice be?
So basically, he's in the same boat that I was in, but I know this plan worked because I've done it. My advice to him, I mean, got nothing to lose, you know. I mean, either you do what you're gonna do, or just stay at where you're at. And my advice to him, I mean, I know financially wise, it's difficult because I was there, but you know, I looked at it. I mean, I look at it this way. My life is worth. My life doesn't have a dollar amount. So, I mean, to try to get healthier, yeah, I'll pay whatever it takes to get it done and make sure it happens. So, I mean, that's my advice to him. I mean, just do it. Got nothing to lose, right? He'll be happy. I know he'll be happy within the first month.
Awesome. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Lalo, that was an amazing story. Where, like everyone has said, we're real excited to see your story progress and your journey continue, and hope to see you on this call again. Thank you very much for coming on and sharing. It's very valuable for us to hear successes and great stories. So I appreciate that.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.
Okay. Our next speaker is Cheri, my wife. So this should be fun. She's got a great story, and I'm excited to hear her share it with everybody. Make sure you guys ask her really hard questions, though, because she can take it. All right.
Great. Thank you. All right, am I good now? Thank you for such a warm and encouraging introduction, because I'm ready. My journey started, it started when I was 12, but we're not going to do all of that here. But we bring all that residue with us to this journey, and it's important to kind of, just be reminded of that, because that's the journey has been like that for me. So it's not a straight line, and some of us, it's even more of a not straight line. So I always tell my story first by David already shared that he lost 70 pounds because everyone's so wowed about that. And we argued about who was going to go first, because we could not afford to have both of us do it at the same time when we first started. We have 4 kids. We had 4 kids in 5 years. And so we had 4 teenagers at the time that we were realizing that we were financially strapped and we were stressed out and frustrated. And we really just thought this is just how parenting and working full time and raising kids was for everyone. It's a grind, and this is just how it is. So to have us choose to invest in getting healthy was a really big deal. And for me, because I've always been an emotional eater, and that's how I learned to cope with all kinds of emotions, like I said, since I was 12. I was really not wanting to spend money on something that I was going to not really have be a lifetime thing, because I was just convinced I was going to gain the weight back anyway, because that's what I've always done. So that's why David went first, to kind of prove to he and I that we could do it. And then after he did it so well, I was like, oh crap, now I actually have to do it. So I did lose 40 pounds 4.5 years ago, but I really do explain to people that the miracle is that I've kept that weight off for this whole entire time, and I've never done that before. And like I said, we were really financially and physically and mentally and emotionally just not in a good place. It was really very negative and total survival mode, of really not even living paycheck to paycheck, but each paycheck wasn't enough for what we were doing, and needing to kind of check the bank account to see what was going to be overdrawn, and having 4 kids. And that was really stressful. And the way that you cope sometimes with that stress is food. So like I said, when we started this journey, it definitely was not something we thought we should be doing. But just like Lalo said, there's not a price tag on your health. And looking back now, I mean, they lost 40 pounds, but oh my goodness, the mental energy and the physical energy and the positive mental just outlook on everything in life has completely changed my belief in myself, and it's really positively and directly affected all 4 of my children. And to hear them explain their perspective about what they see and how different we are is actually how I've learned how far we've come, because you don't always see your own growth, but when someone else, like your children, explain it, you're like, oh my gosh, I guess we really have come that far. So I've also now been paying it forward and helping other people as a health coach for 4 years. So the abundance of positive mental energy and now financially, I really am dreaming about a life of abundance, and it just has incredibly blessed my life like nothing else ever has. So the whole idea we explained that our program is healthy body, healthy mind, and healthy finances. Well, if on your journey as you get going, if you really are very intentional about all the components of our program, then you continue to grow. So even though I'm at a maintenance stage, I'm still growing and learning and having just as much milestone growth and success now as I was the first couple months, like Lalo talked about. They look different. They're not on the scale, but man, they're just as important now. So such a blessing. And I just appreciate all of you being on this call once a week, Thursday, 6 o'clock, because it really does reinforce why we do what we do and how far we've come and what we need. So thank you guys so much.
Anybody got questions for Cheri? Got a driller. You have hard questions.
Stop it.
Come on.
I got a question.
Oh, no.
So why, you talked about, living in abundance and, maybe seeing a different future now health-wise and, helping other people financially also, right? So why start coaching? Why take on something else in a busy life with all these kids running around? And why throw something else in the mix?
Yeah, well, definitely for about 3 months, I told my coach, he was my brother-in-law, so I could talk to him maybe a little more directly than if it was just someone that you've met that's your coach. But I got mad at him and said, dude, do not talk to me about that thing again. And he is not married and he doesn't have kids, and I was working full time and I had 4 kids, and I was so angry at him that he could even think that I could add one more thing to my schedule. So I really, really, really did not think that I could add one more thing. But we were having so much physical transformation and new energy that people just kept asking, what are you doing? Because I'm struggling. What are you doing? I need help. What are you doing? I want to do that. And so I guess the servant heart in me was like, okay, well, I feel so much better. So am I going to be selfish and not help other people? Or am I going to figure out how to help other people like somebody took the time to help me? And then I really did. And the first month or so of coaching was like, oh, well, hey, we're also financially strapped. So why don't I figure out how to help people and really make the money? Because if like Lalo said, and we said in the beginning, wow, maybe I should at least make enough money to have my food not be stressful, because I want to continue having that as a tool for the fuelings, for snacks for the rest of my life even. And so it just grew where I just continued to reprioritize and make room for it in my life instead of other things. And it's worked out really, really well.
Anyone else? Any questions?
I have a question. So Cheri, I know you did the program, and you did the program with Dave, and both of you are coaches now. How do you think this program has helped your marriage out? The fact that you guys did the program together as clients, and now you guys are both coaching together. How has your relationship improved because of this program?
Well, immensely, for sure. It's totally improved. But just like we say that success is not a straight line, as things improve and you grow, there are definitely big hills to kind of work through. And probably any marriage, but definitely while you're learning to transform your life and to have different stuff you want, you both have to grow. And sometimes there's growing pains that are not at the same point for each other. But some of the tools of our program oh my goodness, there's just so many. Like, I tell my clients all the time, even the first week, okay, we're going to learn about something called stop, challenge, and choose. And it really doesn't even have to do with just food. It has to do with life. So before you react to your husband, before you react to your kids, before you react to a coworker, we're going to learn how to take a deep breath, stop, stop before you just defensively react to someone, and then challenge what are the choices. And even, I guess, I would say more for women, but I'm sure for men too, but for women, it's like, challenge, what do you want? If you don't take 2 minutes to think about what you want instead of just reacting to what's being said to you, you don't really get very much of what you want. So I've really practiced for 4.5 years. Okay, stop, challenge what my choices are, challenge what do I want, and then make a choice for what I'm going to say. And for my marriage, it's definitely practicing that has improved so much. And if you really look into Dr. A's book too, which of course, thank God I married a guy who read all the words of the book, but he really talks about the micro environment of your life. And those things are things that we are working together to make better. So it really, really affects your marriage and your family. Yeah, it's really been probably more than we realize, because you're in the minutia of the everyday. And like I said, I have had some of our now adult kids talk about things they've noticed that David and I do differently, or how things really are. And so it really has improved more. Yeah, good.
Any other questions? All right. Well, Cheri, thank you for sharing. I of course love hearing your story, and I'm glad you're able to share with everybody. And there's some good questions. I appreciate the questions you guys asked. So what I want to talk about now, we usually talk about like a healthy habit of the week. So the healthy habit of the week that I want to talk about is basically working this. This is the workbook, Living a Longer, Healthier Life. I'm sure you've all seen it. It's a companion to this book, Dr. A's Healthy Habits. And what I thought it might be interesting is that what I'd like everybody to do is to take this this week to really look at this workbook and really look at lesson one. Lesson one is what's really good about this. It makes it so it'll tell you, okay, to look at. It tells you, okay, read chapter 1 and 2. So it gives you a reference to the Habits of Health book. But what this chapter does, or what this workbook does, it gets you engaged rather than just reading it and going, okay, I read it. This gets you to work through some things. It sort of lists some goals of the chapter of understanding the innate design conflicts in our world. So basically understanding why what Cheri's talking about, how we can manage our micro environment and make our lives healthier and more optimal by the choices we make, how we surround ourselves in our environment, and how we work well within our environment, stuff like that. So it's just it's a nice thing is it's a workbook. So you're gonna be writing in here. It talks about choices in here of like. Some of this is, so if you're on program now, it's very helpful. Talks about comparing your daily food intakes with what you maybe you had, or also your energy. So you kind of get an idea of how things are changing while you're going through these steps. Now, some of us have been on the program and now are in the optimization phase. It's good for us to look at this and sort of reassess. This is the feelings that I'm using and the energy that I'm doing. Is this still actually doing what I want it to do? Is it still taking me in the direction of optimal health? Am I still making the right choices? That sort of stuff. So it's really a good, it's not long. There's just like 3 or 4 different parts in here that Dr. A's got you writing down stuff. And it's really good. It's kind of like a journal in itself where you can write stuff down. If you've written on it, you can go back through and go, wow, look how much I've changed, and really start realizing some of those things. So this is what we challenge you guys to do, is to do lesson 1 out of this workbook for your habit of the week. I've done it a couple of times. I know Cheri's done it a couple of times. And it's just good to review it and use this as an opportunity to have more growth in your life. Some of the stuff Cheri was talking about, and some of the stuff that Lalo was sharing, you can find how you can make those decisions, how you can live those lives, and how you can look at that and be honest with yourself. And that's one of the things you always want to do is figure out how you can be honest with yourself. If you do that while you're trying to live the optimal life, you're going to be moving forward on your journey through the obstacles. And we talked about the obstacles being the way, and this is the way that you can go that way. So we went a little bit over. I apologize for that, but thank you all for being on here, and hopefully those folks that are listening on the recorded version, hopefully it's helpful for you. Okay, thank you very much, everybody, and have a great night.